Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 19 Semifinals. The other semifinals, specifically. Today, we're taking a look at Why So Serious, the jaso7 team, taking on the Juggling Juggernauts, the Trashboat team. With me here as always is the Dr. Dota, Randy.
I'm here.
And Trashboat actually picked first pick.
Seeing who's buying a ticket to the Gotham Express.
Yep. If I was a pessimist, I would say, seeing who gets the right to beat Gotham next week.
Could be. You never know, you know. See,
It's true.
you talk about the underdogs. You know, you say, oh, they're gonna lose first week, they're gonna lose second week. You know.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think they were not favored in any of these bracket matches, and they won both of them. And I mean, it's not like we haven't had upsets on the bracket before. I mean, just a couple of seasons ago, we had the number 8 beat the number 1 again.
That's true.
5 seconds remaining.
Happened when Reedy beat Nick. I believe that was in season 18. Happened when Iceman beat MK Ulti back in S13. Crazier things have happened, I guess.
10 seconds remaining.
But it would be really funny.
Those teams after that.
It would be really funny if the Gotham team had that massive blow up in League Cat and then won.
Oh yeah, I guess that did happen. It's probably no hope then. They're cooked.
No Dazzle.
Unless Gotham's meditation works out.
No Night Stalker. No Pangolier is interesting. No Drow Ranger, I guess, just in case Trashboat was crazy enough to pick Grace Jam first phase. And we are now live.
Don't say any slurs.
Well, I mean, we were always live. We're just, you know, that the 2-minute delay has passed.
Yeah.
First pick Zeus. This pick, you don't know this, but this pick actually like super screwed over the Chon team last week, or yeah, I guess last week. They were holding Carp's pick. They saw this being picked. They immediately just assumed it was Kingfisher. Insta-locked Ember Spirit, and then they got Huskar last phase.
Alright. Well, that's a rough one.
What can you do? Jaso team doesn't have Cerberix with them this week, but is going to pick the Witch Doctor anyway, in remembrance of him.
5 seconds remaining.
It was most likely a Chobro Zeus.
Dire team back.
And hey, well, we're close to the start of the night, and I'll probably show this again. I'm going to, even though I put so much effort into making sure that the All-Star Game vote was not going to have any kind of implicit bias, like, I literally just used Wheel Decide to determine where everybody was going to be placed and all the options and everything. Even though I did all that, just to avoid any kind of bias in the way I set things up, I am going to be posting the classic endorsements for the All-Stars this season after this game, so look forward to that if you care about that sort of thing. And if you haven't voted already, that would be an awesome time to do it. I think the All-Star vote is a lot more fun, and it's a lot more cool when a lot of people vote. That's my opinion. No Hoodwink, by the way. That'll show him.
Radiant team pick.
Oh wait, no, it's not going to be a Chobro. I got the teams backwards there. It is not going to be a Chobro Zeus. It is going to be well, you can't tell yet. That could be Trashboat playing Zeus. I'm not holding my breath. It's not much of a Trashboat hero. Could be the Jumpman Zeus. Could be Power Zeus. Most likely Jumpman.
Tide Gaming.
Are they going to do the funny pause one tide again?
Not in semifinals.
Not in semifinals, for the love of God.
10 seconds remaining.
If there's anything about a pause one tide, it's that it can be flexed.
5 seconds remaining.
True. You got that
go back
right.
to the Rumble City.
Dire team
Magnus.
Oh, this guy has been really stupid and annoying recently. Good to see he will still be here. They banned out the Viper, that's good. I feel like nobody bans out. It's weird because nobody bans out the Viper against this team, but this team doesn't pick it anyway. Which is weird to me. It does feel like they're kind of underutilizing Will Demand Beats as a result of that. Which Dr. Tidehunter is a really good combo. For a lot of reasons. Zeus and Magnus isn't like as obvious of a combo, but there is a lot of fun stuff you can do there.
Well, Magnus is just a fight disruptor, right? So if this team likes to be all five doing things without being challenged necessarily, and you get two people like pushed to somewhere stupid and having spells cast on them, it's like a good fight disruption.
Yeah. That's
Plus,
another
it's
flight
impossible to uphill
disruptor.
against this hero.
Again, you know, I was talking in the quarterfinals games. I'm surprised nobody is banning this Clockwork for power. It's like almost the only support this guy actually plays. So it feels really crazy. Nobody thinks about getting rid of that.
Ember Spirit.
Again. Stealing Trashboat's Ember Spirit.
So
He's gonna be pissed.
this is a disgusting uphill team on Trashboat. Like, I don't know how you uphill this team already.
10 seconds remaining.
The good news is that if there's ever a real team fight, then Jaso's team is going to win it 10 out of 10 times. I guess they have something of a siege guy. You know, with the Ember Spirit now, you can get that trait where your remnants throw stuns, and that helps a lot going uphill.
Yeah.
Especially after Ags.
Dire team pick.
Chobro Pugna.
Yeah.
Kinda sticks out here. You have these three guys that are about these big team fights, and then you have Pugna, who's about one guy, basically. Will kind of interfere with the fight disruption element that that the Dire team so far wants to go for, right?
5 seconds
Like,
remaining.
you know, even if you get the big Magnus charge and everything, then there's still a pretty good chance that Zeus, for example, just blows himself up on the Nether Ward, or...
Plus your Embers or whoever you got is getting healed as well.
Yeah, it means, it doesn't mean much if you get a whole bunch of guys in the Magnus charge, if you get a whole bunch of guys in the fight disruption, but if you just get one guy, it's now very savable. One of the things Lotus was flaming when he was on, the very last ever for this season, fight on Wednesday nights, or Thursday nights as it were. One of the things he talked about was like, he was flaming people for using too much reserve time, which I thought was odd.
You use it up, you know? As long as you don't random your last pick, like, it's fine.
Dire
True.
team back.
He's like using reserve time on the first pick, they're washed. This might be a pause 3 void.
Jesus
That's
Lord.
been something people have been talking about recently. P3 void with time zone.
10 seconds.
I mean, thus
I mean,
far,
it's a terrible Chronosphere game, so
yeah.
hopefully.
5
Well, it's not
seconds remaining.
a
Radiant
completely unappetizing Chronosphere game, just on the grounds of so long as the Pugna is inside the ult, you can BKB
Which is
anything
the Magnus
else.
and Clock are made useless, right? Like, I guess you can
It's
RP
true.
the Ember and wait
10 seconds
so you don't stack your stun and then chrono him, but, like, that's a lot to use.
Yeah,
I
it is
feel like
most
unnecessary.
likely. Well, the Chronosphere isn't completely unpalatable. I think it's pretty likely this is going to be time zone.
Yeah,
You know, just slap time zone on the RP type business.
yeah. Which is good.
Yeah, their combo is kind of coming together with that because you can slap time zone on the RP, and even if you're not a P1 Void, the Magnus can use Empower on you, and then you almost are.
Radiant team ban.
He slaps people, yeah.
Jesso's aiming for mid.
10
Trashboat
seconds
aiming
remaining.
for pause ones. Not surprising there. You know, if they're just gonna do the funny puzzle and Tide Hunter, they're probably not gonna win this game. But I'm not 100% convinced it's actually going to be P1 or going to be mid on the Juggling Juggernauts. I think
Yeah, it could be
there's
Trashboat Mag, right?
I think there's a non-zero chance it's going to be Void 3 and Trashboat Mag.
Well, I guess the assumption is it could be Magnus 3, Void 1, and then Trashboat would
Yeah.
be picking.
Yeah, that would be more
5
traditional.
seconds remaining.
But I will tell you this much: I definitely would not pick Pause 1 Faceless Void right now without knowing what my 1-to-1 matchup was. I feel like that's pretty
Tide Hunter,
crazy.
bro. Come on.
One thing I have to notice, especially, is they picked this far, and did not get rid of the Wraith King,
10
which
seconds remaining.
really tells me it's
This is
probably not a
atrocious
P1.
for Void. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not good for him either in the time zone or the chronosphere, but especially not the chronosphere. And you're probably not taking time zone if you're pause 1.
It's like Faceless Void needs rush control because he needs Chrono to kill the
Radiant
enemy carry,
team pick.
and then with the Wraith King Gyrocopter.
Gyro.
With the Wraith King, he just has ages, so.
Lotus was flaming the hell out of this guy as a pause 1 last week, and I think I'm kind of inclined to agree. It really didn't look good. Like we had I believe it was Krem on the gyrocopter, and he had a pretty good lane and a pretty good mid game, and all he did with all that was die. I got a
That's what you do.
question.
You're very slow and not very tanky.
I gotta question a little bit the wisdom of picking the gyrocopter into the Pugna, the gyrocopter into the Ember Spirit. It doesn't look like a very good gyro game.
It doesn't have like obvious counters on the field, like Naga or something. I don't know.
I don't know. That is a pretty obvious. The Pugna and Ember Spirit are two pretty obvious counters to me. I think
No,
they
I
just.
mean who Gyro counters?
Oh,
like,
okay.
why are you picking Gyro?
But I guess if I'm guessing why they're picking gyro, they're probably not looking at what the Radiant have at all, and are just picking it to throw another thing into like a big RP in time zone.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And you know, if 5 people are stunned, then you just press E with all your items and everyone dies.
Oh my god, they're doing P1 Tide Hunter. I was about to just write these guys off. I was about to say, well, with that, it's kind of hard to see. You know, they would just need to get the 5-man RP every fight to actually have a fight. Nope, they're fine. They're probably favored to win this. I can't believe he's doing this on bracket. I guess he wants to, he wants to make sure at minimum there's a game
He wants
3.
3
If
games.
not, he loses.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's pretty dangerous against Trashboat. Like if they could win this game. By the way, I'm not writing off that possibility. It's LD2L, but if they don't, and like Trashboat randomly wins game 2, you're just done.
I'm fine writing him off. I feel like if I'll be blunt enough to say this: if Trashboat team loses to this, they deserved the loss.
Ace Kingfisher is their win condition.
Yeah, he's basically their real P1, and it's not a very good one.
I'm not concerned about being outskilled, because Gyro, as we mentioned, is useless, and the other heroes outskill him. And he's not that worried, because like there's no Chronosphere in this game.
Well, he ought to be worried, because there's still an RP in this game.
Yeah, but simply don't get RP'd.
There you go. Don't get RP, don't get hookshot,
Yeah, don't get spells cast on you.
and don't wait so long in the game that Faceless Void outscales you, which is also going to happen
Right.
eventually.
Yeah.
Prepare for
Stick a bone in
battle.
it, you're done.
The Void can't kill him that easily. That's one thing. If he doesn't get hit by any of those other spells, which he might. It is Trashboat. It's not some clown playing Magnus, you know?
I guess if I'm being fair, there is an opportunity for this team to win, but I think they had to do it really early. I think that Magnus, like this uphill defense, it makes that really hard.
Yeah. That's true.
But Kingfisher is basically their P1. This is not a P1 hero. I'm sorry, I don't care how many Radiances you build on it, it's not a P1.
Did they win last time they did this?
Yeah, but they didn't win because of that. They
No.
won because Huskar was like 7-1-7 or whatever.
30
Yeah, that
seconds
could
to
just
battle.
happen again, you know?
It's true.
You never know.
I mean, that is the condition here, I think, is that Kingfisher gets fed and runs away with the game. If he does, hey, I mean, they have what is not a bad early game lineup. There is a world in which this team just, like, wipes 5 at, like, 21, 22 minutes and takes out the whole base by the time they're ready to defend it.
The battle begins.
Jeez. Jeez Louise. Very, no real conflict in the, bounty runes here. Everybody just goes off the lane. Pretty normally. 2 for 2 for runes. So, with that being said, I guess it's time for everyone's favorite part of the cast, the roll call. On Why So Series, pause 1 on the Tidehunter, captain of the team, you've got jaso7. Pause 2 on the Ember Spirit, you've got Kingfisher. Pause 3, you've got Liquid Jopa, known currently as Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss on the Pit Lord. Pause 4, you've got Chobro on the Pugna. And pause 5, you've got Tristero on the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, on the Juggling Juggernauts, pause 1, you've got Grace Jam on the Gyrocopter. Pause 2, you've got Trashboat, who blocked me after I leaked him fake news on the Magnus. Pause 3, you've got Wildeman Beats on the Faceless Void, which I haven't really seen doing this yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Pause 4, you've got Jumpman on the Zeus, and pause 5, you've got Power on the Clockwork. There's one thing that certainly sucks about the for the poor gyrocopter this game. Pit Lord and Pit Lord's Gaming are gonna make this a real pain in the ass, especially as the lane goes on. Like, when this guy gets like level 3, level 4 Pit Lord Gaming, it's gonna be really hard for gyrocopter to get like any last hits at all.
Yeah, it's already kind of a hard hero to lesson on. Like, the mechanic is different from every other pause one, so you have to like learn almost how to less it as gyrocopter.
Oh, he missed first blood. Very sad. Rip to Zeus. This is gonna be interesting. Like this bottom lane is almost like backwards. Like, you basically have a Radiant second off lane facing a dire second safe lane in a way. Just with a slightly unorthodox pause 5.
Yeah, we love unorthodox.
It's true.
Okay, so might not love unorthodox in a second. Okay, rip.
Nope. Luckily, I panned over here just in time.
Trashboat is taking a lot of damage mid. Like, this lane's very annoying for him.
He is still ahead on both Last Hit Sand and Eyes, but this is also
Yeah, but
true.
it's kind of the type of lane
We're
where
going to have the old Lotus fight here. And Zeus is basically invariably going to die. They might, okay.
he's
I was
dead.
going to say, might get a turnaround kill on the Witch Doctor for it. And he's going to actually be the first one to, or the Witch Doctor is, I should say, going to be the first one to die there, so, you know, they didn't get the Lotus, at least there's that for the Zeus.
That's your support discourse there.
You remember what I was saying about this lane sucking for Gyrocopter? I'd like to
Yeah.
direct your attention to
Taking
the
a look.
last hits section here.
They might get a kill on Pugna?
Maybe.
No? Okay. Unfortunate.
Nope. In fact, Power is going to lose almost all of his power. Chobro walked into Vision and let this stupid missile come
He's
get
not
him.
done.
Yep. But he's gonna be in even more pain. But yeah, Gyrocopter thus far, just no lane phase at all, basically. And again, when Pit Lord starts getting more levels of that E, it's going to get even worse. Like, it's going to be really troublesome for this guy to do anything at all.
Yeah, like the hero's already hard to hit creeps on. Just go jungle at that point, I guess.
Yeah. Very interesting set of gears here. Grace Jam, kind of blowing up her HP mana bar there on the Nether Ward. Pugna denied it,
Nether Ward
very
denied.
nice.
Hell yeah.
Decent sized coconut here at bot, but not enough to. Okay, Will the Man Beats is gonna die. Nope, he's gonna be okay. Luckily, this is like a god awful lame matchup for the Witch Doctor, so
Because
gonna
it's
be
based
okay.
on your. I think
The difference
Maledict is
between
like,
your HP.
yeah,
That's
the
all it
difference
is.
between
Yep.
your HP when it casts it on you versus when it is
ticks,
now.
yep.
So like if he hits Q, it just does nothing. Just literally nothing.
And if he does what he did there and hits Q and then hits Wand, then it's most certainly nothing. Very, very unfortunate situation. They're trying to get a lot of damage out on the Zeus here. If that Maledict had come out before Tidehunter had hit all of his buttons, then we would really be looking at something interesting here, but no such luck. Interestingly, he didn't go out and try to gush Zeus on the last tick of the Maledict. That might have done him, but did not decide to do that.
We had a 1, so he was okay.
He had a wand, but it had one charge in it, so not quite that okay.
Actually a sick 1 lane, tied into a Shucker. It's a lot of spells.
It's true. Arcane Rune out on the Magnus, who has the option to use that on his first ult here. He is actually a level up on Kingfisher here. Well, not a level, but a decent... Okay, nope. Shouldn't have looked away, I guess. Moment I looked away from bot, the guy got run over. Unsurprisingly, by the way, it is indeed time zone, just to confirm that.
So you have an Empower-based skill build, right? So you're gonna outlast at the Emperor.
Gyrocopter blew his entire HP bar again. Both of these pause ones are getting hammered on the last hits. At least Tidehunter has a kill to his name.
Yeah.
So there's that. But both of these pause ones, as much of a pause one as the Tidehunter is crying. I think Wildeman is going to be basically as much the P1 this game as the Gyro is. Gyrocopter hits flak cannon here, but yeah, that's that is legally the least amount of damage that you're allowed to do. If you do any less damage than that, they take your ass to jail. Pugna is back fresh in lane. Power is using regen to get up. Gyrocopter at a Papa Sav. Trashboat's coming in here. He's got Arcane and he's using Smoke here. They're looking for a good kill opportunity. Power's got them in the gears. We've got the Magnus ult.
It's faceless though.
It's doing like nothing. That was the most nothing ult ever!
Okay.
It turns out when all your follow-up damage is just right-click based and Pit Lord is here, life sucks. Get another level of this Pit Lord, goddamn. Tidehunter Pulling a bit ahead of the... Oh, Titan does not actually have a kill, I guess I should say. He has 2 assists, but he also has 2 deaths, so... I don't know. Who's doing better between these two? Let's find out. The answer is Tidehunter by 400 gold.
That's that kill.
Speaking of that kill, Kingfisher in the back line here, looking at the Magnus. Okay. I don't
No, he
know
doesn't admit it.
how intentional that was, but very good play there by Kingfisher. Jumping in front of the Magnus charge like that to get drawn along does get him the kill here. He is very low on HP. And mana. Likely the best option for him right now would be to Remnant TP. 3-man bot. The Pit Lord Express rolls in to try and cut things up, but doesn't actually do anything. Everybody just kind of ignores it.
That's a void ult to use.
Yep, that was your inaugural time zone that also drew power into this lane. Not like it matters that much. Jaso's actually going to tag in here and take the Pit Lord's position up here at top. Gyrocopter, it seems, no longer wants to be in this lane for some strange reason. I mean, I guess this makes sense if you think about it. This is basically just 2 pause 3s, so where you put them really doesn't matter terribly much.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's true.
They're really holding on the Maledict here. I guess just doesn't want to use it against Void anymore.
Are fortified.
But it's weird to me to like use your skills to like chip Void. I guess the idea is if he uses his skills to chip Void, then they lose very little if he jumps, and they can just keep doing that over time. T1 top for Dire going down here. And Vanguard on the Faceless Void. Guessing probably going to do Halberd with this, maybe? I mean, actually, I don't know. He's got a Vanguard, that's the important thing.
Number
Not
3
really sure why nobody does right-click damage on this whole team, except for the Ember
I
Spirit.
think everybody's going your RP.
RP out on the Ember Spirit. He's taking some really desperate plays to get away. Does not actually make it. He does clip Zeus on the exit, though. Power also goes out in the middle of that. He basically just tries to... Oh, he basically just tries to intervene there to keep the Ember Spirit split from the team. Pugna gets run over here. The
Trashboat's the MVP of that fight.
yeah.
What an RP.
Everyone goes down very quick on the draw with the RP on the Ember Spirit. And good thing on the part of the power too, the way he took that particular fight. I mean, it did cost him his life. It's going to put level 6 off even more, but I do think that the kill on Ember Spirit probably doesn't happen, or at least doesn't happen as comfortably as it does, without him cutting up the fight like that with the gears. Made himself a big pain in the ass for them. Yep. They got the Void like super dead down here. He did jump, but he has no stick or anything. Oh, okay. He jumped out there. No, but he jumped right into Chobro's waiting arms and got the 1 second suck and lost a courier with the rest of the wand on it.
Just stuck around too long, I guess.
He is going for Albert. Okay, he does kind of have like an inventory full of random crap at the moment. So they got the Zeus. They revealed the Rod of Atos on the Pit Lord for that. You know, I used to secretly not like the Rod of Atos on Pit Lord very much. It's like I said before, with the way the pit works, it's hard to time it in a way that it's, you know, really any more meaningful than it would be on just any hero. You're not usually extending the power play time with the Rod itself. With the Gleipnir AoE bonus, it's really good on him now and gives him stats that he really quite likes. So they are going to take the Pit Lord Express down to where Gyrocopter is. Nobody has a...
He's gone.
Yeah, he's just going to TP. Nobody actually has a Blink Dagger right now, so nobody can actually chase him yet.
I guess the problem there was they didn't have vision because they had an Atos.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
they didn't have vision, so they couldn't actually catch him there. Kind of came in a little too unsettling. Let's take a look at the net worth chart. No real surprises here. Except maybe that Pugna and Zeus are both pretty close to where the Gyrocopter is. Who's doing really bad. I feel like if the Trashboat team does lose this game, it will be maybe down to the Gyro pick. It's just not a good enough hero for this. Again, I understand what the joke was supposed to be. I understand it's just for like the big RPs, but it's just such an unnecessary gamble. Like you can have pause ones that take advantage of the RP without being literally just the RP basically, right? Like, you know, Sven's not really that good either, but like that's a much better looking hero here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're not necessarily getting value out of like 5-man RPs anyway in this game. Like the most value RP in this game was on one person, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, later on in the game, you're going to just necessarily have value 5-man RPs. It's gonna, I was gonna go, but Fiddler's gonna come out here looking for the Faceless Void, but he's gonna find support line as well. Just kind of caught in a bad sitch.
bash.
They're going to, he's going to keep himself alive for a very long time through his items, but not
Ravage
forever.
and protests.
Yeah, the Tide Ender comes in to drop the Ravage and ends up losing his whole MP bar and pretty decent chunk of HP. He does have Soul Ring, not that he's going to be interested in continuing this fight, mind you, but had the Halberd reveal on the Faceless Void here. What happened to his Band of Elven skin? Oh, that built into OOC. Okay. What the hell is... Okay. Sure, that makes sense. Right. The Band of Elven skin in this Orb of Corrosion, and it has 7 agility.
OOC doesn't have Orb of Venom in it anymore. It really makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't have an Orb of Venom, but it does have Band of fucking Elven skin.
For some reason, yeah.
For some strange, bizarre reason. Oh, well, what can you do? The Gyrocopter's in a really rough state. He is going for the Ags here. Doesn't even have the first part of it yet. And that's like his only item, basically. If Radiant was actually playing more aggressively, I think they could just get rid of this guy.
Portal. Oh!
They try to do some funny Magnus plays on the Ember Spirit here. They get him with the RP again, but they actually die for it thanks to a timely interception.
It was Ember initiating on Mag. It was the other way around.
Well, still, the reason that Ember didn't die the RP was through the timely intervention of the Pit Lord here. Ooh,
oh, what's that?
Void. Yeah, just getting caught for a very long time in front of that Death Ward. Someone called the Doctor. Find another Band of Elven skin. Going for Yasha this time. Looking for a quick Mantis style, which will help with things like that in the future. Though I do think they have enough CC on this team and enough crap you don't want to deal with. You're probably just going to have to build a BKB, if I'm being honest. You know, you've got the Pugna W, which, I mean, you can't really get rid of that on things you're trying to hit, but you can at least get rid of it on you. You've got the Pugna W, you've got the Pit Lord Pit, and the Gleipnir coming soon. You've got the Ember Spirit Q, you've got the Witch Doctor Cask, you've got the Ravage. Like, you got... The Mantis style's not going to get you through all of that. I think you're going to need heavier duty than that. Especially because, you know, the Jaso team's strength is their execution. They're not going to, like, screw up and just put 9 stuns on you at the same frame. At least, most likely not, anyway.
Yeah.
Radiant's queued up for Tidehunter. He might get it by the end of the game. Maybe. Magnus has Echo Saber Blink.
He doesn't get... Okay. He's not walking out.
Void's gonna walk into him here. He's gonna steal the Gambit he was working on. What an asshole.
Unfortunate.
Tidehunter even comes
nice.
in to try and stop him from being able to do that, but no such luck. Going to drop
Dink.
the clockwork. Okay.
Oh.
Ravage here. Oh my god, the Death Ward just ruins the clockwork, forces the Void retreat. Ember Spirit runs in, gets halberded. Time zone
RP though.
right on top of the RP.
RP in protest.
Pugna kind of ruining it. Oh no, Trashboat was right in the middle of all the nonsense. That would have been awesome a little bit earlier with the Zeus there, but the Zeus is
a little
just too far
fractured.
back.
Like,
Yeah.
first of all, your gyro's not there, so you can't be that aggressive. But like, you get the RP way after everything else is kind of already cooked.
Yeah.
So I think you either just leave on mag there and reset for next fight and have RP, or like RP earlier.
Dire's structures are fortified.
This pit lord is such a big, nasty problem for what the. He's got a pipe too, just to make it worse. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of their damage in fights right now is coming from the Magnus Q. It's coming from the Zeus stuff. It's coming from the gyrocopter ult, and there goes all that damage. Or not all of that damage, but they're going to be really tanky between that and the Mage Slayer on the Ember Spirit and his Flame Guard, if you want to count that as well. Brief hiccup there, do not adjust your set.
Dire are scanning.
They're scanning out. We're going for the Ags before finishing the Gleipnir, which I don't think I like particularly. I like the Ags on Pit Lord, and I especially like it with the Gleipnir because it just makes this mess of gigantic pits that lock down the whole world. But I think having the AoE bonus is just a better upgrade than the Ags gives you. I think both is good though. Both is quite good. Well, Tidehunter has the, no he doesn't, never mind. I was about to say, Tidehunter has the first part of the Sacred Relic. He's got the world's biggest stack here.
Yeah, speed up his radiance, you know?
It's true.
You might get it by 30
Quick,
minutes.
use Ravage.
I think it's a 26-minute radiance. Yeah, Ravage them.
He's rooted. There we go, here comes the first part of the Radiance now.
Okay, it might be sooner.
relic.
It's like 23, like 24.
Yeah,
Assuming he keeps
that,
farming.
that big stack, and he's got another, not big stack, just a 2 stack here, but sped it up very drastically, so there's that. Yule's up on the Ember Spirits. He's got Yule's Mage Slayer and Boots of Trap. Oh god.
Wait.
Maybe those lag spikes that were happening earlier were in game rather than in for me. That would certainly explain why there's a oh no, there's
Bathroom,
just a
one sec.
bathroom.
All
You know,
right.
this game started pretty late. You guys had a lot of time to do this before the game.
You know, sometimes it just hits you. Can you do?
It's true. Life comes at you fast. Let's look at the items. Oh my god, what the hell? Pugna has a Scythe of Ice recipe. Okay. Very ambitious.
What?
I don't know why the hell, unless he was like about to die or something, I don't know why the hell he would buy the recipe first on that.
Well, it's just secret shop items, I guess.
It's true. I mean, like, what do you, like, what... it's not like you're not going to be going past secret shops. It's not like you don't have space. It's not like you're using the courier for anything else if you're building this, right?
Yeah,
like, just...
That's what the pros tell you to do.
There you go.
So you can have the courier come straight to you instead of picking up a recipe. But you know, you're supposed to do it when you have like one item left, not when you're getting your scythe in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. When you
That's what
have
it
one
is.
item left, and also when the build-up parts for the item that you're getting are not terribly useful. That was just straight up a scouting ult from Jumpman there. Just wanted to know where the hell everybody was, what's going on.
Yep. Answer is not
Zero's gonna
much.
kind of walk up here, almost get beat up by this Void, but kind of walks away at the perfect time. This is a little interesting. Void jumps into the camp that Tidehunter's actively doing. Does not find anything though.
Neither hero is particularly interested in pressing that.
Nobody is. Which I think probably favors the Trashboat team realistically right now. The
Trashboat himself, though, is headed up here with some haste.
The Radiant has kind of split up. No, he's heading to a camp with some haste. Never mind.
Sad.
Because the Radiant team has split up kind of heavily here, so they do have an opportunity to make this play if they want, but they also split up pretty much about as bad and are very clearly not going to make any attempt to get involved. They're also missing the Zeus ult, so he's basically not involved here.
Yeah.
He's going for his own Ags. He's got a force F, so there's that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Going for a nice little solar craft here. That'll be nice for strengthening people to beat on the RP. We've already kind of had issues where like the Void or the Magnus kind of dies awkwardly early, so that'll help prevent that. Ember Spirit is in, looking for the clockwork here. He's going to jump out, not quite make it, but he's going to jump out here. Okay, RP inside the times. Okay, the RP was way too late. RP was way too late inside the time zone, unfortunately for them.
He was ravaged, unfortunately. Like, it's the problem. I guess this counter initiates too much because the RP would have come out earlier, but he was full stun ravage, and then like there's a witch doctor in his face.
Yeah, guy needs BKB, and he's made that decision himself, so that's why he's building it up now. Double damage on the Ember Spirit as well. Probably didn't help that fight out that much. Yeah, he did 2,347, which is nearly as much as the entire Dire did combined in that fight.
Your clock is dead instantly, which doesn't help.
Yeah. Gyrocopter building his own BKB. Has Ags by now. Hey, Bugna is now just one on him shy of Scythe.
The idea of the Trashboat team is literally just a 4v5 until this gyro is ready.
Yeah.
Because it's been a super passive gyro, like, hasn't joined any of these fights that I know of.
Can't say it feels like it's working at this juncture. Feels like if they're going to adopt this strategy, they need to beef up and fight around their vision more, perhaps. Take a more defensive posture. I don't think they're losing much by not taking fights like this, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that fight was just a quick reaction. Ember Spirit getting a pick on the clockwork when they didn't really know where the rest of the Radiant was, and it turned out they were right behind him. Whereas, if they just let the clockwork go there, that's like fine. Free shard for Pugna. How nice for him. The more time they waste, the more the Pause 1 Tidehunter is a Pause 1 Tidehunter.
Yeah, well.
But thus far, it feels like they've been taking this awkward sort of stance, where it's like they're trying to 4v5 until the gyrocopter comes up. They're still kind of fighting like they're wanting to have these big fights. It's like, no, you need a defensive posture, you need to pick people, you need to be charging people way into the back line with a Magnus, right? Like, things of that nature.
Right.
Most casual gyro ult in the world on this wave here, bot.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Is not even going to save the tower? Nope.
Nope.
Dire's bottom
Unfortunate.
tower
Where is my backdoor protection?
Radiant's
3-man smoke. Coming in very quickly here. Looking at these guys hassling the Ember Spirit. I think Power kind of figures out something's up. Starts, just drops the gears, backs off. Again, very good gears by the, by Power here. Just cut set up in an awkward way makes it really undesirable for them to fight anything more. And speaking of undesirable to fight anything more, Magnus is
Radiant's top
adopting
tower
the
is under
old
attack.
ignore game, ignore enemy team, just split push strategy, which would
Yeah.
work a lot better against somebody who wasn't named Ember Spirit. But what can you do?
It's the old Manoy in a losing game.
Manoy's in chat. I mean, he hasn't said anything, but he's there.
That's why he's doing it, to impress Manoy, you know?
There you go. Pit Lord takes the Pit Lord takes the Dire Shrine of Wisdom.
The old Nature's Prophet play.
And Ember Spirit already took their own. Zeus actually comes all the way to the back line to try and scope it out here. Doesn't find anything. Very sad for him. BKB coming out on the Magnus relatively soon. I'm guessing they're probably waiting until that to try and start fighting again. They also have the Manta style on the Void, though I believe they already had that in the last big fight. Who's looking for his eggs at this point? Just to make that big circle of pain even
Dire's middle tower
painier.
is under attack.
I guess it would be decent logic to assume Gyrocopter BKB. Decent logic to assume the Zeus ult's probably also mostly just to throw into that more than anything. They got an aggressive position here in the triangle for the Radiant, but they're not gonna find anybody down here. This is nobody.
Yep.
They almost found Void's Slam and Strawberry, but they didn't quite get it.
I'm just waiting for Mag BKB, I guess.
Yep. Waiting for Magnus BKB, waiting for the Gyrocopter BKB, which is now out. Which is probably the smart play, realistically.
Radiant
Like,
are
as I was
scanning.
saying earlier, they really don't stand to gain anything from taking lots of fights.
Lots of drawing on the map.
Yeah,
Magnus.
somebody is quite an artiste. Going to scope out the Magnus. Not willing to use the Rod of Atos on him, though, for some reason. You know, another good reason for the Pit Lord to delay the Ags a little bit in this particular game is that he doesn't even have level 4 Pit yet. I mean, not like it scales particularly much, but... Again, I think with the way the item changed, the Gleep is just a lot better on him.
Dire are scanning.
Kind of a weird little hitch. I think this might be... this is definitely because the stream didn't like have any hiccups or anything. This is just something weird with the servers, I guess.
Sid.
Nah, just a couple hundred gold south of the Hex at this point. Should get it from, like, one more camp.
Yeah, sure. My Pugna sheepstick first item.
Yep,
It's crazy.
and there it is. Got S and Y on my Tidehunter, going for Blink next. This is like a great thing to show like a Dota time traveler. Like, go to a Dota player 10 years ago and show them this Tide inventory and they'll have a stroke. This is my 31-minute Tide inventory. Gyrocopter kind of just walked into a lot of pain there, but walked away before the pain actually hit him.
Yep.
Getting Crystallis somewhat soon, has a Hurricane Pike queued up. But worried about some of the positioning snares they have.
Gyrocopter 0, 0, and 0 is true carry gameplay.
Yeah, baby. And what are you gonna do, your Gyro?
Yeah, not much.
You're just gonna hurry to 6 slots and hope you are gonna win when you get 6 slots, basically. That's your play. That's your one thing. You do that. Maybe if you're feeling frisky, you can drop a bomb on a team fight somewhat earlier in the game, but he didn't do that. Not this time.
Oh,
Lord Express dropping right on top of the gyrocopter's head. He's going to pop the it's full BKB. RP is going to come out here on the Pit Lord. Yules is going to dodge it. The 9-second BKB has ended for the gyrocopter. They have not... Okay, they did use it on the Magnus. I just didn't see that.
God tier play by Kingfisher.
Oh. Death Ward comes out, but it pretty much just only gets the... only gets some Void Illusions.
Oh no, he got his carry ravage.
Yeah, Kingfisher on the back of the fight taking out the... taking out the... gyrocopter courtesy of the Magnus charge here. But he's pretty dead, yeah. That looked like it should have been a really awful, horrible fight for the Radiant. Or for the Dire, and indeed the Radiant even actually did more damage in the fight. But they kinda lost. They kinda lost.
The unfortunate detail of Mag pushing Tide into a position where he could ravage his carry.
Yeah.
So he died, but other than that, it was pretty painless.
4 for 2 trade, that's about a 5 grand gold swing towards the Dire. Close this net worth gap from 10k to 5k.
Even aside from that, you can see the Mag in that fight causing like a lot of confusion.
Yeah. Ember Spirit has the Axe. He does not have the thing that makes chains come out of his Qs. It's going to be a little annoying, but... Or chains come out of his remnants, rather. Chains are his Q, you know. If he hit Q and chains didn't come out, then he's either an ability draft or something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe he picked the wrong ES. Stro calling Shrine of Wisdom here. Zeus was there immediately. Was not going to surrender it to the Pit Lord again. Witch Doctor Eggs is nearly out, which has been kind of a big... These Death Wards, outside of the last fight in particular, have been kind of a big problem for this team. That's probably going to turn a lot. I don't think the Hex... I didn't even notice that the Hex actually even got used in that fight. It didn't seem to amount to much. He does have his level 3 time zone now in the Ags.
Radiant are scanning.
Scan's going out. Magnus is gonna kind of think about getting on the Tidehunter here. Hookshot is going to take out the Tidehunter and the Clockwork. It's not going to take him out. Hookshot's going to take the Tidehunter and the Pugna here. You have an attempt by the Pit Lord to intercede in the fight, but Magnus is just kind of taking everybody away. But he's not able to do it here. Kingfisher so desperate to get rid of this Zeus. Okay, so what we learned from that fight is that they can't fight without the gyrocopter. They can't do that at all.
Yes.
You had this very awkward situation for the Radiant where they kind of got like stretched apart, where they kind of got their fight got harassed as much as it can be. You had like the big time zone, but without the gyrocopter there, it doesn't really feel like they have anything of substance. So that's a little awkward. Gyrocopter is now going to come out. Does not want to let the buildings go for free here. You've got a buyback from the Magnus. Gyro's doing a lot of damage here. I mean, these are some very tanky guys. They're going to throw Jaso into the back line here, just try to get rid of him. But Kingfisher's just going to come back in.
My Gyro!
The Gyro... No, he is dead. Okay, uh-oh.
Task from downtown.
Yeah, game over?
Looking like game over, because to die back on Trashboat.
Yeah.
Bit unfortunate.
Yeah,
Tide
die
pause
back
one.
on Trashboat, about 3,000 gold swings, and yeah, Tide Pause 1 wins again. Yeah, he can't keep getting away with this. Rip to real one, rip to Faceless Void, he's not even gonna try and fight the anchor. Goodbye.
Alright.
He does not have buyback either.
Dyer's middle barracks has fallen. Dyer's
Yeah,
middle
this
barracks
is gonna be a pretty
Dyer's middle
unceremonious
barracks has
Megas.
fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Here, just shy of 40 minutes, so... I mean, I was gonna say long after the Tidehunter has scaled out, but if I'm being, you know, unfair in this world, it's not like he really... I mean, this is just the Kingfisher show. Kingfisher just kind of ran away with these fights. The Jaso is there to basically just be a second B3. It's just Kingfisher with these two big HP blobs standing in front of them. And unfortunately, the Trashboat lineup picked a team that ultimately, especially with how they performed it, really did not have the means to do anything about that. Like, the gyrocopter into the Pit Lord sucked so much. Like, I already knew this hero was bad, but it just, goodbye again. It just looks absolutely dreadful here.
Literally looks completely unviable, yeah.
Yeah. Trashboat calls the G's. We're going home. They want one more kill on Jumpman. They got it. Oh yeah.
There you go.
That didn't feel very competitive.
Nope.
I mean, they picked.
It's a 4 protect 1 game where your one didn't ever be online even after items.
Yeah. I think that's really just a summary of the game. That's a very good way to put it. It was a 4 protect 1 where the one didn't do anything. It was like that that Blue Jay Nature's Prophet game. I think very similar situation, very similar outcome. People gotta stop letting this stupid Tidehunter P1 thing win. Like, goddamn. I don't know. It felt like the Trashboat team, I mean, I guess really one of the big things is they picked this team so much for just like these big RPs and big follow-ups. They didn't have that many, excuse me, they didn't have many big RPs. And the big RPs that they did have almost never had the follow-ups. Like, you very rarely had the time zone out when the RP happened. It was pretty much always like 2 seconds, like less than 2 seconds, it felt like those two things were crossing over each other. The gyrocopter really only took part in like 2 RPs himself by the end of the game. Like, the big fight after they started coming back, he wasn't there at all. Just looked a little rough. I don't know if this team wins with better execution. My gut tells me, despite slagging it off earlier, maybe not, because it just feels like the gyro is just too bad of a hero. But I think if with better execution, without the random fights that were just throwing their lives away early game, and with more of a cohesive play between the gyrocopter or the rest of the team, between the Magnus, Faceless Void, if they're able to bring things together more, maybe. But as it stood here, no, not a hope in hell. If this team looks like this, they gotta play better than that. Not better, but more coordinated. Let's see what happens next time.